Okay, these are the two chlorine generators that came back from Nepal when the team was down there doing the training. They trained some 200 people. Towards the end of the training, being our equipment was still held up in customs, we were able to take the ones that we were training with that worked during training to one of the sites. It was a refugee camp, and this is where we bumped into a problem. They were first trying to sanitize water that was coming out of a well, but the well went dry and they weren't able to get water out of the well. After that happened, they had water delivered in a truck. We have no idea where that water came from. It showed up in a truck and it was delivered into the tanks. They were still having problems getting the chlorine generator to start up, and which means that the electrolysis process was not happening. They had water circulation through the pumps. They had a fully charged battery. They were using the same salt that they were using at the trainings, and they still couldn't get it to work. And I think we have come to a conclusion on what the problem was. So we're going to go through that process. Here I've gotten some water. I have purchased water from our local Kroger. This is just distilled water. This is a very pure form of water, has no minerals or anything in it. It's just hydrogen and oxygen. It's H2O, and it's condensation basically from heating the water up and letting it evaporize, cool off and condensate, and that's the water that this is, just right out of the atmosphere. This water in this container is water from a condensation unit on an air conditioning unit. Again, it's very similar to distilled water, it's just a little bit different process. The water that I have in this container is reverse osmosis, and this last container is deionized water and reverse osmosis as well. These two waters have absolutely nothing in them that is good for you. The only thing that they are is wet. And there are no minerals, there's no bacteria, there's nothing in there that will cause conductivity in the water. And I think this is maybe where the problem occurred when they were trying to start the chlorine generator up with bottled water. The bottled water sample that they gave me was reverse osmosis water. So what we'll probably do is use that today, and we're going to fire it up, and I'll show you how this happened, and then I'll show you what the resolve is.
यो दुईटा सामान चाहिँ भर्खरै नेपालमा तालिमको लागि प्रयोग गरेर फर्केका हुन्, अनि यो दुईटाले चाहिँ विशेष गरेर त्यो तालिमको अवधिमा यसले चाहिँ के अरे पानीमा क्लोरिन नदिएको कारणले उहाँहरूले फिर्ता ल्याउनु भयो, यसले काम नगरेको कारणले। अनि त्यसपछि उहाँ चाहिँ यसको विषयमा प्राविधिक हुनुहुन्छ, अनि उहाँले यो 4 किसिमका पानी प्रयोग गरेर फेरि यही मसिन चलाएर हेर्दाखेरि खास के कारणले चाहिँ क्लोरिन उत्पादन गर्न सकेन, अनि त्यो चाहिँ उहाँले पत्ता लगाउनु भएको छ, अनि त्यो चाहिँ एकछिनमा उहाँले अब देखाउन लाग्नुहुन्छ।
So we're going to take the reverse osmosis water, which is very similar to the water that they were using in country. The bottled water they had, if you looked at the label, it said that it was reverse osmosis, ozone, and ultraviolet was the process of sanitizing the water that they used out of their bottled drinking water. That's the same type of bottled water that they were trying to use in the chlorine generator. So we're going to use RO water. I'm going to take this spout off of here, put it on here. We're going to go ahead and fill this up with about 600 milliliters of water. I'm going to stay just a little bit less than that. So we're going to grab some plain, cheap. This is right out of Dollar General store. This salt for a little bit over a pound in US dollars is about 52 cents for a little bit over a pound. Chlorine generator. We're going to fill this up till it's mounding over the top, as we teach in training. We're going to fill that right up with salt, just like that. And we're going to take this water that we just took out of this container, and we're going to pour this salt right in there.
Do we need? Oh, okay, it's working.
And we're going to shake that up and just melt that down into a briny solution of water. Take your pick, either one of these chlorine generators that came from Nepal.
Let's start
This
with
one right here in the front, you've got it. All right. So we want to make sure the pinch valves are closed on the bottom so that the salt water doesn't come back out. And we're just going to go ahead and pour this right in the chlorine side. Okay, and if you take a look at that, we're full right up to the line.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rinse this out. Take some more of this RO water. And we're going to get another just about 600 milliliters, and we're going to put it in the other side. And then we're going to take the chlorine generator over to this station over here that I've got set up.
For the process, right?
For the process, right. So we're just about there. I'm going to leave this one just a little bit lower because the heat exchanger is going to take up, so it's going to displace some fluid in there, and it'll take it right up to the line.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and pour this right in there.
There you go.
All right, perfect. 533 that we just loaded up with our reverse osmosis water, or RO water, and salt on the chlorine side, RO water, just regular water on the other side. And we brought it over to this bench. This is a fully charged deep cell marine battery, and I'm going to go ahead and drop the heat exchanger in here. In here, this water is pure condensation water. There is nothing in this water at all that will do anything to help the water sanitizing process. There's nothing in there to sanitize, but I wanted to utilize this water throughout the whole event here so that we can see exactly what's happening. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to hook up the pump. This is going to, we're going to hook the black up to the negative, and the positive, red up to the positive, and the pump just started running. So if we, if I hold this, if I hold this hose up here, you can see that we're circulating water right into the trough here. I don't have any leaks on the unit. Everything's good. I've got good suction on here. We're going to go ahead and hook the chlorine generator up now. Now, typically when this would happen, we would start to see hydrogen bubbles forming in here very radically, very quickly. So I'm going to hook up the negative to the black to the negative, the red to the positive, and we're going to sit here and watch this, and we're not going to watch anything happen. So what we should be seeing right now is a cloud of water, or a cloud of hydrogen bubbles forming, and it should be moving right down to about where my finger is, and it usually stops right about there, and the water will be real clear on the bottom and really foggy on the top. If you notice, that's not happening. The reason is because reverse osmosis water has no conductivity. The process of electrolysis is a conductive process. Through DC power, we're putting positive charge on the salt side and a negative charge on the water side. And so it should be very conductive. Most waters have minerals and other things. Even algae and other things in there will cause conductivity, will allow the electrical charge to move through the water freely. But with this, it does not. But if I take a little bit of salt, and what we have, I'm not going to measure this out in grams or anything, but I have measured it. It's about 6 or 8 grams of salt, which if you take a look here, is just about an eighth of it.
हजुर यहाँनिर यो पानी विच्छेदन हुँदाखेरि त्यहाँ पानीमा केही घुलित पदार्थहरू नभएको कारणले विद्युत विच्छेदन हुन सकेन अनि त्यो प्रक्रियालाई अगाडि बढाउन उहाँले अलिकति नुन पानी घोलेर यतापट्टि पानी हाल्ने ठाउँमा नुन पानी हाल्नुभयो अनि त्यसपछि त्यो विद्युत विच्छेदन अथवा विद्युत प्रवाह त्यहाँ हुन थालेको देखियो र अहिले तपाईले भर्खरै देख्दै हुनुहुन्छ त्यहाँ चाहिँ पानीको माथिल्लो भागमा बादल लागेको छ त्यसैले कुनै पनि ठाउँमा तपाईले नतिजा देख्नु भएन भने त्यहाँ तपाईले नुन पानी घोलेर हाल्न सक्नुहुन्छ र अहिले चाहिँ कर्टिजले पानीमा क्लोरिनको मात्रा जाँदैछ कि छैन भनेर नाप्दै हुनुहुन्छ अनि अहिले यहाँ क्लोरिनले काम गरेको देखियो।